like get the speakers to travel, unless we move the MC to like here.
Yeah, but where's the power out here?
I don't know, dog.
It's like, it's true. I like this spot over here though, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
On a truck or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
What are you getting into?
New England Top Drift Street Series layout.
Not knowing where to put the judges.
Who do you have for judges?
That we don't have.
No. We assigned Shabby to it, and we now realize we don't have any judges.
Whoops.
I don't know what we're gonna
I
do.
think I caught this.
What is
Found
this
that in the
about?
shop.
Oh, these guys sound like the perfect men for the job. Why is there 3 missing?
I don't know, but you better get on top of it.
Oh boy.
It may work though.
I think our prayers have been answered.
I'll make a call.
I'll let you guys handle this.
Ugh.
What's this thing? Are we like... What are we even driving?
Faster.
Come on. What's that? Cricket wireless signal? Come on, what's this Spice Fab?
No, wait, it's getting better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, way too...
You, work on, fellas. You drift, we judge.
Yeah, I need 3 judges, May 18th and May 19th at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park.
Okay. Seems like something we can put together.
You think you can make that work? Nice. All right, I'll see you then. Thanks.
Fellas, giddy up. We've got work.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. Another Q&A, episode 3. Today, we are interviewing our judges. Lynch here.
Landers.
Dave.
Kyle. Matt.
Nice.
Thanks for having us, guys.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's cool.
I guess let's jump right into it. Why don't you guys, starting with Matt, tell me about yourself. What got you into drifting?
Pretty much catching it on the internet. Watching OD 1 Street Legal. Even at the time, Formula D. I was 15 in high school, and that's pretty much the time I caught up with it. And ever since then, I'm like, I eventually got to drive, and eventually linked up with some of the drift action guys, and they kind of led me in the right direction of how to go about it, and then pretty much been doing that ever since with them.
Is that 15 years ago?
No, that's
You're
probably
15?
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
30.
that's pretty yep. It's been a while, so
That's pretty
yeah,
good.
thinking of it like that, crunching numbers.
Right?
You know?
Well, you got
I got into drifting. I saw actually one of my college colleagues in between like classes and stuff. He was like, "Yo, you guys should check out these videos." I was like, "What the heck is this?" And he shows me Risky Devils OG videos. Like this is like 08. And
Pre-Junk House?
yeah, oh yeah. And so we're just watching those videos, like, dude, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. And just got me right into it. So 2011, I think I started going to E-Town, and that was really it for New England. Like, we didn't really have much. We had Drift Spot, right, New Hampshire and stuff like that.
You got your faction, Lebanon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. We had Lebanon Valley. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lebanon LVD
On
on Fridays. But yeah, so I just
Friday nights, yeah.
started drifting at E-Town, and that was just super far away for me. I just wanted to drive on a road course, and yeah, I've been in it ever since. Started doing doing drifting that way, and we started to do competing with like some pro-am stuff a little bit.
U.S. Drift, right?
Yep, we did some U.S. drift. I was like spotting really for like me and Cody and whatnot. We went down to like Virginia, did some hyperfast stuff. We did it all over. Went all the way up to, I won one event. I went from like a Lock City event, and Lime Rock, and then we like went all the way up to like Niagara Falls. So I took like the same day. Wow. We did an event there. There was a competition battle up there that
That's
day.
a drive.
But yeah, I've been in ever since by then.
I feel like I recognize you from somewhere.
I think it's just a white shirt. I don't know.
What's your story?
So, Dave O'Leary, I've been in it for almost as long as I can remember. I found a super street in California
in like 2003, 4, and it had the Yashio Factory 240 SX in Japan. It was like the coolest thing ever. Started drifting Gran Turismo like constantly as a kid. Drifting my Colt in my backyard in the dirt. Got my license. It was all downhill from there. Just been in an S13 for 13 years now.
Wow.
Drifting in pretty much every year I can, even blowing up, had daily. Just drifting. Never tried to go pro, never did any of that. It just didn't work out, you know. Some people it just doesn't work. I wanted to just street drive and all that stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And I met some cool people, drift action, out there in like 05, 04. These dudes had the coolest stuff. And I'm like, nah, I just want to drive. And then like years later, I'm like, I want cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the judges.
So we have, as you guys know, we have New England Top Drift, the Street Series, both at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. And let's start off with New England Top Drift, May 18th. That's the first event. What are we looking for?
Judging, we're just gonna be judging off the three things that like off of Pro 2. It's gonna be line, angle, style. That's basically the three that we're gonna be judging off of.
So like they run their qualifying line, right? And that's going to be the best way that you guys describe, hey, this is what zone you want, or...
So your typical drift, you want your clipping points, you want to get close to those, right? Your outside clipping points to your inside, and then on your transitions, we want those to be really hard as you can, and the chase run be mimicked or even better. So, you know, your typical drift, you want it to just flow nice, and like we're looking for consistency more than anything
Not
else.
many corrections.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to minimize those corrections and minimize any straightening outs, wheels off the course. You know, pretty much you just want nice drifting. I think everybody knows what that is. So we really are just looking for consistency and speed and angle, and especially for the pro, we're gonna want some smoke and some excitement and some speed. So
Yeah, for that top drift, are you guys going to be doing a rolling start, or it's like from a dig, from a standing start?
So like
From a dig.
Pro 2, we're going to be doing from a dig. We want to keep this as professional, and if you're going for that road, that road to competition,
So
we want to keep that as straightforward as possible.
So we're gonna have the chicane style start, is like
Okay.
Pro 2,
Nice.
for the top drift, and
So qualifying, is that going to be an open qualifying session like during practice, or we're going to think you're going to do actual qualifying runs?
So we'll have a practice. Obviously, there'll be open practice in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then for qualifying, we're gonna do you'll have 2 qualifying runs.
Okay.
You'll have time to do 2 qualifying runs, and basically we'll judge off the best run.
Excellent.
And for street series, we're
I
gonna
think we do the same.
yeah.
Qualify. You want that pressure to be on
Okay.
for a qualifying run, and it's nice to judge a solo run because then that's what we expect from their lead
Exactly.
run.
So We're gonna be looking for the
It is smart,
consistency. We're gonna look for the consistency from their qualifying run and to their lead run. So I'm saying that's what we're gonna be looking for when they're in the lead position.
Now the street series though, that's gonna be from a dig as well.
No.
No.
So we're gonna do a rolling start on the street
Yeah.
series just because that's more a street vibe.
Okay.
We all the drivers pretty much drive together in the street series, it seems anyway. So they're gonna roll the course, get their tires nice and warm, get a flow with each other, and then they're gonna have a point where it's on and you start drifting, and then a certain judging point where we're gonna start.
Nice.
All right, so speaking of starting, a lot of people asked about body panels and body kits, and if you guys are going to deduct points for not having body panels or looking good, appearance stuff.
Well,
where
if
do
I
you
may,
go for it.
that's kind of a technical regulation
Yep.
at the same time. So, just to start the event, I think is a requirement for all the panels. But
Yeah.
So we were thinking from the beginning of every run, you should at least attempt to have your
For
body
top,
many as you have.
for top
Yeah.
drift, for sure. Definitely gonna be looking for your
Right.
hoods.
Street drift.
Hoods.
No.
yeah,
yeah.
street
This can be
And-
zip tied on, duct taped
Yeah.
on, but we want to see them on there because you're supposed to be professional,
Make an
right?
attempt.
yeah, make an attempt. Yeah.
Exactly. And if mid drift, for top drift, if you might have a deduction for a trunk popping open or a hood popping open, stuff like that.
Okay.
Not so much for bumpers and whatnot, Only if there'll only be a deduction if if it changes the line behind you for maybe the chase driver.
Okay.
And say if you tap the wall and if it doesn't change your line, you know what I'm saying? If you just brush the wall and you just keep on going,
I get what
you know
you're
what I'm saying? That won't be a deduction. But if you're smashing the wall, you just go in a little too deep and you're hitting the wall or something like that, or a clipping point, or just going maybe off, and you're losing a bumper, and that changes your angle, and the chase driver is going to have to compensate for that. That would be a deduction.
Okay. Speaking of offs, what are we doing? 1 tire, 2 tire?
2 tire.
Two
I
tire?
think 1. I mean, it's really up to you.
Yeah.
How pissed are they going to be if they do just
Yeah.
one?
No, we really want 0 offs, right?
So we want 0
Yeah.
off. So
But-
it's going
but
to
I
be a
don't think
deduction
it's
no
like-
matter what for
Okay.
1,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a straight 0 for 2.
For 2,
I
yeah.
like that.
A clear 2.
Yeah, clear 2.
That leads me to the next thing: is like what dictates an incomplete or a 0-point run. You can
Yeah.
deduct points for straightening.
So we're going to judge it per corner and per transition. You accumulate, or you actually deduct points from 100
Sure.
on
Yeah.
those parts. So if you straighten out on one corner, you're going to lose all those points. You're not going to get 0 on the run, but it's going to be a massive deduction. It's going to be really hard to win
Overcome that,
otherwise.
yeah.
So, but things happen, so you don't want to give them a straight 0 for that.
Yeah.
Opposite drift.
Opposite drift, incomplete drifts, stuff like that.
Spins.
Yeah, so spin outs.
Does that include half spins?
Yeah.
So a half spin, you come
Incomplete
to almost a
drift.
complete stop, but
Yeah.
not really, but you lose all your momentum.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that
Maybe your
clear.
wise fab saved you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's going to be obvious. There's
Yeah,
a big
exactly.
difference
Exactly.
between
Exactly.
holding massive
but
angle
you did
and
spin,
like,
but you
If
did.
that-
right.
exactly.
You powered through it,
Yeah.
but you lost all your momentum. We're going to see it.
Yeah, exactly. And that will be a deduction, and unsportsmanlike conduct for sure. That's
Okay.
And we already kind of talked about proximity between cars.
Oh, so that
Train.
actually goes into the 0 too.
Okay.
When you bump into the other guy or girl, then there's we call it, I think, bump disturbance.
Okay.
Nice.
It's if it disturbs the other guy's run,
Matt. What did Matt?
Disturbing the line.
Yes.
disturbing the line.
He said it with such confidence.
Yeah, it was
I know.
good. It was good.
They gave us
It felt-
chills.
it
We're like
felt right.
disturbing the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
It was
So, keep that in mind. You can scrub up. I know No Kilo's doing that, right? But the other person never gets overcompensated because of it. It's just a nice scrub, let them
Yeah.
know you're there. Rubbing's racing, right? But if it makes the other person half spin or, pushes them way offline, that's gonna give you an all 0 because how do you recover from that?
And then the flip side of that, if the lead driver is going off track or maybe he's dropping 1 tire, that chase still is legal, and we want the chase driver. The chase driver to follow that up to a point. Don't be reckless, obviously.
And going
but
off, yeah.
but you want to be following the chase driver where he's going.
Okay.
What about passing? I see sometimes people pass, right? I've seen that.
I'd go for no passing unless they straight up go off or spin. Then you're gonna
Yeah.
pass
Keep
to
going.
avoid.
Yeah.
But I don't think passing necessarily is
not-
gonna be like a win or anything
Yeah,
like
no.
that.
There's not gonna be bonus points for passing. That's not what we're looking for
Yeah.
here. Just
If
to
you're that far off,
yeah.
it's gonna be obvious anyway.
Yeah,
You don't need to
the
pass
first-
them. It's too dangerous
It's
to
just-
even.
yeah.
It's not even worth it.
It's
Okay.
it's just to either avoid a contact or something like that.
All right, so we'll talk about the top drift right now. This question I want to answer for both series, but for the top drift, will you have a horsepower handicap? Say a lesser car up against a bigger, better car?
We'll say it at the same time. Ready?
No.
Not for top drift. All right.
At the same time.
What about
Street Series?
street series? Say a Corolla versus
No, because they're gonna have a rolling start. They're gonna
Okay.
have a time to get a feel for
Okay.
each other. If
That
that
was a
Corolla
big
knows they're
question.
underpowered, they better come out of that grip turn as fast as they can
Yeah.
and be in the power band.
And that's where the rolling start's gonna help for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So my understanding of a handicap was different than what it was explained to me. Handicap is a handicap,
You
right?
put weight in the
But-
trunk.
Well, no, when I thought of a handicap, I kind of thought back to like drag
the
racing
plaque,
and
right?
something where one car would start before, right?
Like a drag
But then
race.
it was explained to me that a judge could keep it into consideration that car has
I guess
less
that's a
power chasing,
Well-
so it's not going to come out of the corner
Yeah.
as fast.
I
as
see
a-
what you mean.
do you
So-
consider that
I mean, I feel like as a judge, you kind of take that into consideration anyway.
For sure, yeah.
If it is a Corolla up against a 350 horsepower SR, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, if they're killing a line, but they're not as, they're a little tighter because
Right,
they're
right.
trying to
Shower
stay with them.
kind of-
Yeah.
You're gonna take that into consideration. You're like, wow, they did a
It's
lot
good
with
for-
not
that's
much.
what you and Bear explained.
And,
So
and that's where
why
we're
I was
also
like-
going to go back to your qualifying and just go back to that.
Is it
And
consistent?
Yeah, that's true.
How consistent was he? You know what I'm saying? Or if he was maybe not as strong, you know, qualifying, but like when he goes against the 350 horsepower car and he's in the lead position and that little Corolla struck like and he's giving it all he's got and you know that he's just keeping his right foot planted.
Yeah.
Like that's what we want to see.
Yeah,
You know what
that's-
I'm
But
saying?
you know that chase run, it better be crazy on the
Yeah.
door
Yeah.
because they have no excuse not to.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that comes into play too. That might throw them off. So you know, I think it balances itself out to a point,
Yeah.
Okay.
but we will take that into
Good
consideration.
answer.
And like we don't want to see like people getting gapped and gapping that happen. So like
Like when they take off
yeah, exactly.
for a pro.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, for we're talking about Street Series, right?
Yeah, because they'll be rolling start.
Yeah, roll
They
start.
really shouldn't
Exactly.
come into play.
Yeah.
If we see it, we'll fix it at the time.
Yeah.
What's the entry gonna be like?
Well, hold on. One more thing. I just want to reiterate it. Everyone knows, but for the Pro Series, we're going to limit, the top drift.
Yeah, top
We're going to
drift.
limit the tire width to 265s.
You read your rules. There's limits on both, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
265s
Tread wear.
and a 160 tread wear on
Yes.
pro.
I just wanted-
245s and a 160
It's good
on.
info to have out
On
here.
the
Street.
street series, yeah.
So you can do less than that, right?
Yeah.
There's no minimum.
Yeah.
I know
Exactly.
some pro, if you get high enough, they have a minimum.
Yeah,
so.
Pro 2 would have a minimum on like
Yeah,
weight.
so do what you gotta do. But for us, 265 max.
Yeah.
So-
on this one.
The biggest question that we've been getting is layout. What's the layout
course.
gonna be? What are we gonna run?
We may like to know.
Yeah. So let's show you guys the layout and
I don't think I've seen this yet.
let you guys
I don't know. Maybe I can do this.
what we're doing here.
Maybe more of an angle here.
Does that work?
How's it looking,
All right.
director?
How do we got this?
Oh, this looks good.
Where's that camera on there?
All right. So this is gonna be.
No, this looks like Mihan.
Is this upside down?
No.
Where are we at?
Yes. Well, the
Yeah,
enter,
it is.
Not upside
Yeah.
down.
This is the top.
well,
This is turn 4 on the road course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
This is the
yeah,
tunnel.
Yeah, that'd be the tunnel.
This is the far one we never use.
Right.
So just keep that in mind where we're at, right?
So we're running in a clockwise direction. Right.
So if you're going this way.
Yeah. Right here.
Let's get the pointer.
You guys get this on the camp?
Deep in my pillow.
What do we got? Whoa, what am I
You
doing?
wanna take this?
Yeah, let me get the
Yeah, we're
point.
gonna go right here.
All right, so pro, we gotta figure out, but we're gonna start around this region on the launch, the dig. We're gonna come up, come around, swoop up here, zigzag through here, back up and around, and a nice straighten out exit up here. We really gotta see on how fast you're really gonna go up here, because first event we don't want anybody to die.
Exactly.
So we got to figure that out. We might switch it up. We might come down and around after the exit. But for the street, same thing for this time. We're going to run it up and around. But this one's going to be, a constant lap, so you can get the feel for it. But you got a nice valley right here, right? So you're coming up
Yeah.
the hill. And then this is pretty steep. It comes down, comes up just a little bit, and then back down. And it's kind of like a little toge.
And
And
that's
this
a
is
big
really steep. So you're really, the pro guys especially, going to be dumping smoke here. Just powering up. You're going to hit this apex as late as possible because you're going to come out on the straight flying. It's going to be really
It's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna start
Yeah.
finishing
I'm
the
very
finishes right
excited.
here. I mean,
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, you're going to, and then, done. Like, we don't really want to see you coming out full angle and then, like, switching back 100 times
Yeah, no.
to slow
Yeah,
down. Like,
just
we
master
want
kill
some
zone.
deliberate straightening out, like, smooth, keeping it nice and fresh.
Smoking for the crowd.
Yep. And,
Where's the crowd gonna stand? Right.
Well, you need to explain some of that.
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
isn't it? This is the pit road, right under the bridge.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
This
right
goes
here.
over the bridge right
This
here.
is the fee everybody pays, right? The 15.
So-
Yeah.
So for New England Top Drift, it's gonna be our regular standard $15,
Yep.
right, to get in, and pretty much all this will be open.
So sometimes people
Besides
sit on the
this.
hill up here.
No, for Top Drift, this will be open as well.
oh, okay.
This is
But
like the
for
pits.
the Street Series, because it will be held with the
It's
regional
NASCAR,
NASCAR
right?
events, so NASCAR tracks way up here,
Mm-hmm.
gonna be going on. It's gonna be $18, but that's to get in. You're gonna be able to check both events.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into the paddock space for the Street Series, that is actually $35. That is,
Which is basically your pits, right?
yeah, the whole pits. But you get to walk the pits for the NASCAR, the drifters, everybody. Because both events are simultaneous, we have to conform to their pricing. But that's actually pretty cool. It's 2 for 1, right?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched the modifieds, those are cool.
Pretty cool.
But yeah. Anyways, so this gate section for the Street Series up the bridge and on the bridge is all part of the paddock space, and then all this over here, around like where people usually park on the grass and stuff next to the golf course, is all spectating.
It's gonna be some good views.
No, I believe that.
So I'm not sure if people ask this, but what other event? What else is going to be going on during this series? Will the skid pad be open?
No.
During the pro one.
During the pro one for May 18th, yes.
So morning,
that's Saturday.
full road course, and skid pad in the morning, right?
No.
Or are we doing the comp in the morning?
No, the comp's going to start at noon. That's more so for a trial run for us because all the other ones are Sunday at noon. So on Sundays in the state of Connecticut, you can't start driving until noon.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's right.
I figure best because we're amateurs and
Yeah,
we might as well just on that Saturday practice. We might go and let a couple people drive it, test it out.
Right.
Because
But it's not like an open event. Just
right.
skid pad.
Yeah, just the skid pad will be open event. B and C.
Cool.
Yeah.
In the Street Series day, no open drift at all. Just
no open drift,
competition.
just competition.
And maybe some judges will do some cool stuff.
Judges will do cool stuff, and if we have time at the end, everybody can drive it for a little bit. We might, in between one more round, set up like an underdog challenge. We were talking about that.
We talked about that.
On the driver's
And
lounge.
also, like the guys who get knocked out or maybe don't qualify,
Yeah,
we're gonna need some filler time.
Right.
Yeah.
We may have them go out and drift for the crowd, so you're not
Yeah.
losing. You can be able to drive even
Yeah.
if you get knocked out.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, well that's probably pretty good. I'm at the end of my list. You guys answered all the questions from Facebook. If there's any other questions anyone else has, we'll be shooting more of these. I think it's something we all enjoy doing, and we like getting all the information out.
I want to
Knowledge
thank you
is
guys for
power.
coming today, doing this. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited for definitely seeing some competing in New England for sure. Just something guys always kind of wanted. We always kind of wanted to do a Street Series. It just never sometimes it didn't really work out the way we wanted to. But now I think we definitely have now we definitely have the ideas and the place to do it, the facility, and I'm really excited for this year for driving and for seeing how the driver's just going to progress in this area. And
Yeah.
we got a lot of good drivers, and I know that they're going to do well. So
Turns out all we needed was a home base.
That's it.
And we got it.
So on that note, see you later.